welcome to today's episode where we are doing a oil change on my Harley-Davidson Sportster. On Big V twins, Milwaukee 8s, twin cams, stuff like that, it is what they call a 3-hole oil change. With a Harley-Davidson Sportster, it's actually a 2-hole oil change. Primary and the transmission are a shared oiling system. Rather than 3 different types of oil, we have chain gear oil and then the regular motor oil. So let's go over what we have here. It is going to be available on our website if you guys want to purchase it as a full kit. So we have S&S SAE 20W50 full synthetic high performance engine oil. We've got 3 quarts of that, and then we have 1 quart of S&S chain/gear oil, which is full synthetic for Sportster models. We also have an oil filter, and we have all the gaskets and whatnot that you need. Derby cover gasket, the inspection cover gasket, and then O-rings. If you guys want to purchase that all as a kit rather than having to go to a dealership or wherever and piece it all together yourself, you can literally go to our website, blockheadmoto.com. Check out the link down in the description below, and it's literally click one button, finish the checkout, and then the full oil change kit will show up on your doorstep a couple days later. Easy as that. In order to check your oil level and all that stuff, this is going to be your oil dipstick. So basically, boop, go like that. There should be oil on this stick, but for some reason, my Sportster has no oil in it. So we're going to correct that issue today. And then the primary/transmission oil is looking pretty dirty, so we're going to drain that. First things first, let's get the dipstick that I just had off of it so that you basically don't create a vacuum in the system. So whenever we do pull the plug at the bottom of this, it's able to flow freely. This is a Harley-Davidson low profile oil pan. On the left side of the bike, underneath the primary cover, kind of in front of the back brace right here, you're gonna have this little hose piece that comes down. So this goes to the bottom of the oil tank. That's gonna be secured in by this worm clamp. Take a flathead, loosen that up. That's probably loose enough. And then you're going to pull that, should come right out just like that. And then obviously you wanna have your oil pan below it. Look at that. There's actually a little bit of oil in it, and it looks like death. So we're gonna go ahead and let that drain. While we're letting that drain, we're gonna focus on the front and remove the oil filter. Now this, whenever you remove it, is also going to spill some oil. It's already done draining. There was that much oil in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave that one back there open. We're gonna slide this kind of forward a little bit. So this is long enough so that it's basically catching both. We're gonna go ahead and get this oil filter off. But before I do that, whenever you take this off, it should leak oil. One of the tricks that I normally say to do is to put foil underneath so that you can basically like have that foil underneath it to catch the oil and then basically run it here. Your oil catch pan will basically be right here to catch that oil. They also make like silicone sheets and stuff that you can put in there, so I'll be sure to drop a link to that down in the description below. You can go ahead and try to get your oil filter off by hand. The oil filter that I use does have a socket end. All right, that is loose. Go ahead, thread it off the rest of the way. All right, so we're just gonna let both of those drain now. Piece on the back, that's pretty much done now, so we're gonna put this barb back into it. If you guys are wondering what this is actually like a oil catch cloth. Great to put under bikes when you're working on it for catching oil that, you know, might go beyond the catch pan. I'll be sure to drop a link to that down in the description below. Super useful. All right, so just take some kind of shop rag. Don't have to use a microfiber, but clean around the oil filter mount. While I have it open and off and I can actually get in here, I'm gonna go ahead and spray it down with some brake clean. What that brake clean is gonna do is it's gonna get any residual oil and stuff that came off out of there, off of the bike. It's not gonna get all of it, but now you're gonna go ahead and take your new filter. This O-ring here, you wanna get a little bit of oil on it, so just Just take some of the old oil. It's just so it forms like a nice seal. Take that, thread it on by hand. You just got to get it snug. That's good. All right, so we've got our oil drain there. The plug is back on, in, tightened. We've got the oil filter changed, on, hand tightened. Now we're gonna come back around to this side. This is where we're gonna put our new engine oil in. Start with 2 quarts. This thing was pretty dry. All right, so 2 quarts in. Now they say to check this on the side stand, so we're not gonna check it just yet. We wanna get the bike off of the lift and run it for a little bit, just to kind of get it to temp, let it set on the side stand, and then we're gonna check the level again. So that's gonna get all that new oil through the system, and then we'll check the level again, and then that's whenever we can top it off with that 3rd quart. So usually it'll be about 2.5. Before we do all that though, we are gonna go ahead and do the chain/gear oil. Before you drain your oil out of here, I do highly recommend seeing if you can remove the derby cover first. These bolts are notorious for stripping, so that's gonna be a Torx bit. It is a T27. Now with these, you're gonna wanna make sure that you sit this in really well. Like I said, you do not wanna strip them. So press against it, slowly turn. Next one, press in, slowly turn. Just kind of work your way around, make sure they all break free. Do not want to strip these things. They do make a tool that you can actually press against it and it'll press in and turn left for you, so it'll loosen it. If you want to use that, feel free. I'll be sure to drop a link down in the description below. Once I have them all loose, I'm going to go ahead and take them out. I'll leave that top one. There's your last one. Set those bolts aside. Now this, a lot of the times, will be kind of stuck on there, like seized. Give it a couple little taps. Might have to hit it or pry it. If you're gonna pry it, use something that's not gonna mar your case, like a plastic pry tool or something. This does require you to put it back in that correct orientation. So this being 12 o'clock, you guys can see there's a little piece right here that is for the clutch cable. Basically, that's the correct orientation. Make sure that this piece stays in there. A lot of times, whenever you remove that cover, it'll stick to the inside of the cover right here. Obviously, you don't want to lose that. This keeps your clutch in adjustment. We are going to be replacing this O-ring, which this thing looks super gnarly. You can use a flathead, you can use a pick. Comes out just like that. Yeah, this whole surface looks freaking gross, man. I'm gonna clean this up real quick. So I'm just gonna use a brass brush, kind of get some of this stuff off. This is just gonna make sure that the new O-ring seats correctly. You don't want anything, you know, causing a leak. So just for good measure, I'm gonna use some of our all-purpose cleaner on this thing. This is cleaner and degreaser. It works obviously really well on stuff like this, just because it kind of cuts through the grime. And this thing is grimy. So give it a spray, let it set for just a little bit, and then we're gonna come back and hit it with the brush again. So all the stuff that was stuck like inside of this little lip that holds the gasket, like all the grime, it was just like, you know, grease and oil buildup, cuts through all of that stuff. Just makes it freaking super clean, beautiful. Should see once we wipe it down. Hell yeah, that looks awesome. Super clean now. Next step, in order to drain the primary fluid or the chain/gear oil, it's gonna be this bolt right here. This is gonna be a 5/8. Now with this one, your kickstand is kind of in the way, so obviously get that wrench around there. You're gonna wanna loosen it. Not as bad as I thought, but you also have a magnetic drain plug here, so inspect that. You don't want any like shiny, chunky bits in it. Some metal shit in it, so we might need to pay attention to that transmission. I would bet there's a couple of teeth that are looking a little worse for wear. All right, so with this, you do have an O-ring on here that you're gonna need to replace right there. pick or flathead or whatever you need to get it off of there. Use your fingernails. It's a little harder on gloves to use your fingernails, but you know. So that's almost done draining, but we're gonna let it drain for a little bit longer. We're gonna go ahead and replace the gasket that's on the back of this. Now these are going to be a 5/32. All right, that comes off just like that. Now this is the piece that we're replacing. Check that chain tension in there. Go ahead and replace this piece. So peel that one off, grab your new one out of your kit. All right, there you go, new one. You can actually put it on here first if you want. You guys will notice on the bolts that you pulled out, there are 2 small O-rings. So we're gonna replace both of those O-rings with the O-rings that come in the kit. So I'll go ahead and take these ones off, toss them aside. While you're at it, go ahead and take your other new O-ring and put it on the drain plug. Go ahead and replace the inspection plate. I go ahead and drop a little drip of blue Loctite on each of the bolts. When tightening, I do not use an impact on those. I'm actually just using this really short handled ratchet so that you don't over tighten. You don't want to strip these. Just get it nice and snug. There is a torque spec for these. I'll be sure to drop it on the screen right here. Now we're gonna go ahead and replace this gasket slash O-ring for the derby cover. Same as the oil filter, it is recommended to get this coated with oil before you put it back on there. So chain slash gear oil. You got that lightly coated, put it back into the channel. Now this channel does have like little pieces that point inwards so that they grab and hold that gasket. It is a square gasket, so you want to make sure that it's all facing the same direction as you squeeze it in there. Just take your time. At this point, if you need to do a clutch adjustment, you can. I'm all good on clutch adjustment. I'll be sure to show that in a separate video if you guys want. Now you're going to want to go ahead and replace your drain plug, right? You don't want to fill this thing up and all your fluid that you are putting in there brand new for it to fall out. So drain plug back in. Does have a torque spec, which I'll display on the screen right here. All right, so now we are ready to go ahead and add in our chain slash gear oil. They do make a specialty funnel for it that you can basically set right here, and it kind of sits on this lip. And you want to fill it up to where it's just on the edge. This is the funnel that I'm going to be using. I would highly recommend grabbing that one funnel that Harley sells. We should drop a link to it. Okay, so in terms of level, I need to add more, but just so you guys can see this before we fill it up, you can see that in the bottom of this, you've got that new amber fluid. Now they say you want it touching just to the bottom of the clutch. So you can see the bottom of the clutch. Hopefully you can see that. The way that this works is whenever it spins around, it gets the oil, splashes it around, and you don't want to overfill it. So we got a little ways to go. They say it should be just under 1 quart to 1 quart. So we're gonna keep filling. All right, so the teeth are submerged. We're gonna go a little bit more though. So that is damn near a full quart. Yep, that looks great. It is just to the bottom of the clutch basket. That is perfect. Okay, now we are going to go ahead and put our derby cover back on. Don't forget that little nut with the spring. That little notch right here needs to line up with the clutch line. Guys, it is highly recommended not to put these in with the power tool. I've been working on bikes for a while, so these tend to snap pretty easily. I would highly recommend doing them by hand though. So like I said, that is a T27. Whenever you tighten these, you don't want to tighten them in a circular pattern. You want to go kind of crisscross, right? So like 12, 6, 10, 4, 8, 2. I just used the power tool to seat them in, but I am going to go through each one and tighten them by hand just to be able to feel it as well. These do have a torque spec, which I will post on the screen right here. All right, so just going through my work on here. These are all tightened. Double check these. These are tightened. I'm gonna double check this one. Now, brake clean time. All right, there you go. So the primary / chain gear fluid has been changed. The oil has been changed. Everything is tightened up here, tightened here, and we've got 2 quarts of oil currently in it. So we are going to save this 3rd quart, let it run for a little bit, and then we're going to check the level. So let's go ahead and start it.
Twelve seconds later. Eventually.
That's the oil change, guys. So check it, you know, boop, pull that, make sure that's where it needs to be. And yeah, check it on the Jiffy stand. All right, let's get back to the garage. So as you saw, we dropped the Sportster off at Rhino Dyno for some dyno tuning, but that's how you change the oil in your Sportster. So engine oil, and then you've got the gear and the primary oil, essentially the share. Just to go back over this real quick, I'll show you guys some pictures on the screen here of what you're looking for on the dipstick. So whenever I pulled the dipstick, I don't think I got a super good shot of it, but you're basically looking for the bike to be fully hot, so fully warmed up, and you want it on the side stand whenever you check it. Now, this bike has a similar dipstick, kind of what you're looking for here. So it says full hot on Jiffy stand, check screwed in. You're gonna want to wipe it off on a cloth, clean cloth, and then you're going to put it in and then screw it right to the right while it's leaned over on the Jiffy stand and fully warmed up, and then you're gonna pull that, and then you're gonna see where the oil is. So with this one, you can see on the end, it says add quart. Sportster has the same exact thing, and then you'll have full on the right side. You can see it better in the picture that I post on the screen there, but that's pretty much it. If you do need more, go ahead and basically add some more in. They usually recommend 1/4 to 1/2 quart at a time, and then run the bike and recheck. If you guys do have any questions on this, be sure to post them down in the comments below. If you guys want to buy these oil change kits, we will have them available on our website at blockheadmoto.com. I'll be sure to drop the link down in the description below for you. And it's super easy, 1 button click, purchase everything. So basically all of the oil that you need, the little gaskets, the O-rings, and everything. So 1 button click, you don't have to go hunting for everything. It's just all in one, makes it super convenient for you. I hope this video was helpful though. If you guys are running Sportsters out there, and it was, do me a huge favor, hit the like button. If you guys aren't subscribed, you want to continue to see motorcycle content like this, hit subscribe, hit the bell icon also, so it sends you notifications of future uploads and activity. Till next time, ride safe out there, stay vigilant. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.